Hey guys, it's Sophie from Stretch Kinetics here, and today I'm going to take you through some hip cars. Now, hip cars, if you haven't heard of them, or cars in general, are controlled articular rotations. So it's where we're working to improve the range of movement of a joint by trying to really isolate the movement to the joint by controlling through the core. So you want to kind of brace the core as you do it, try and isolate the movement. So if we're working that right hip, it's just coming from that hip. No other part of the body's moving, and we're actively kind of contracting, increasing that intra-abdominal pressure to try and create that stability for then that limb to move and that hip to find the movement from there. So I'm going to show you two different variations. One we're going to do standing up, one we're going to do on the floor. So the first one here is you want a wall or a bench or a chair or anything that you've got there. I might do it this way actually and try and face you so you can see. What we're going to do with this one is you want to make sure that you've got your balance, and we're going to feel a nice big inhale in. And as you exhale, I want you to just really hug that belly in. Think of creating that nice big contraction. I've got a little squeeze of the glutes, a hug of the belly, and I'm going to shift my weight into that left foot. Now I'm trying to keep my body really, really still here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work that right side. I'm going to draw that right knee up as high as I can into hip flexion. So again, I'm trying not to move any other part of my body. From there, I'm going to start to abduct that leg and take it out as far as I can to the side without my body leaning too far. So I've had to switch that left glute on as I take that right leg out to the side. That's about as far as it'll go. And then I'm going to start to internally rotate it and extend the hip. So I'm drawing it back as I internally rotate that. And as I do, I'm turning that knee down towards the ground, creating that nice big draw back. So I'm extending the hip now as far as I can. I've still got that unlocked left knee. I'm still weighted into that left side, and I've got that big hug of the belly. And then I'm going to draw it all the way down and let it go. So I'm going to do it again on the other side. I'm going to take it the other way though. So from this position, again, I'm going to start really nice and tall. I'm going to hug my belly in, weight shifted into that left leg, and I've really braced through that left leg as well. I've got my calf on, my quads on, everything on. And I'm going to lift that right knee up as high as it'll go into that hip flexion. So from there, I'm going to start to abduct that hip, take it out. Now again, my body wants to pull off to the left, but I'm really trying to keep it centered. It's about as far as it'll go. And then I'm going to start to internally rotate. As I do, I'm extending that hip out, internally rotating it, drawing it all the way down as far back as it'll go. I'm trying as much as I can not to hyperextend through that spine as well. So really isolating it to the hip and then bringing it all the way back down. So if I go the other way again, we're going to take that draw back. So we're going to start again braced, belly hug, and we're going to send that leg back this time. So I'm going to draw it back into extension as far as I can take it. Again, I'm trying to leave my lower back out of it, staying really nice and tall. And then I'm going to start to externally rotate it. So I'm really drawing it out to the side, bringing it around to the front, all the way up as high into hip flexion as it'll go. And then I'm letting it come down again. So that was your right side cars for your hip to improve that mobility. We're going to take it down onto the floor, really, really similar one on the floor, but you can just do it in a 4-point kneeling position instead. Now for your 4-point kneeling version of this, going to bring it down, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and it's going to be really, really similar. So we're going to start into hip flexion first. Elbows are unlocked. I'm going to take a nice big inhale in. And as I exhale, I'm going to hug belly to spine. Think of drawing shoulders back and down. Everything's kind of frozen in position. Now my weight's going to shift very slightly to that left knee, but my body position isn't going to move. I'm going to take a draw of that knee in, like I'm going to kind of draw it in towards my chest or in towards my elbow. It only gets to about there. And then we're going to start to take it out. So we take it out to the side, and as we do, we're going to start to lift and internally rotate. So I can feel that weight shifting into my right hand as I find that lift into extension back behind me, trying not to pull up to that left-hand side or hyperextend through that lower back. And then I'm going to slowly bring it back down through center. So I can really feel there's a lot of weight into my right hand so that I don't pull off to the left. Now, same thing, we're just going to go back the other way. So we're going to find that lift up, toes point, almost like you're trying to hold something behind your knee as you find that lift up. But we're going to externally rotate this time. So the knee is going to turn out to the side. Weight feels heavy into that right hand. Going to draw it out and forwards as far as it'll go. Draw it in towards that elbow. And then I'm going to slowly lower it all the way back down. Whew. Whoever thought mobility work wasn't too hard, give those a go. So those are your right side cars for your hip mobility. Definitely do it all on the other side. You want to do kind of 3 to 5 rounds on each side with this one. Take it forwards, take it back. Try to even it out if you're going to do like 2 and 2, one direction, one the other direction. And then make sure you switch it over onto the other side so you're keeping it nice and even. And that's it, guys. Those are your hip cars for some increased hip mobility.